Hello, friends. I'm Kimberly Boscheman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive podcast. In this episode, we're going to look at the October 2020 energy forecast for life path number 5. So, what's interesting is this month, October, is actually a 5 universal month. And what that means is, we each face our own energies each month, each hour, each day, whatnot. But then there's also universal energy that we sort of face as a collective. And so with it being a 5 universal month, what that means is that this is some energy that will be coming in that could potentially be affecting the collective. But because you all are life path 5s, what you may find is that the energy of your 5 nature is intensified. And so just be aware of that. One of the things to really, as you probably know, being a 5, you're probably very well aware of how often change and transformation comes in for you. But that's something that we may face this month as well, is abrupt, unforeseen changes or transformation that, again, maybe we were aware of or we weren't aware of. And so sometimes with that 5 energy, it can be frequent, again, changes and transformation. And so I anticipate that this month we'll be seeing some of that. And especially for 5s, again, you may find that that energy is a little bit more intensified for you just because that's also your life path energy. And so what I would say is, in order to be able to sort of tackle this energy, is to go with the flow as much as possible. And so as much as you can the energies of the universe and that those changes and those transformations, the more comfortably that you'll be able to move through those transformations. And so again, being a life path 5, you're probably very well, you're probably very used to having to change direction, pivot, go on a detour quite frequently. And so this probably won't be anything new for you, but just understand that it is possible that this will feel a little bit more intense for you all. And so some additional energies of this 5 universal month that you may see come in is this desire for adventure, travel, expansion, living in excess, those sort of things. And so one thing I would suggest is, of course, if there's ways that you can, mitigate that energy and sort of be able to satiate that by, if you can travel, if you can explore. But if you physically aren't capable of doing that because of the circumstances at the moment, then by all means, find ways to do that. Find ways to satiate it in the way of taking an online course, learning a new language, ways to expand the mind, right? So if you can't physically expand as far as, go to visit a foreign country and immerse yourself in that culture, then do so remotely, right? Virtually, if you have to. But whatever you need to do to sort of find that balance. And that's a big one coming in this month for, everyone collectively, is moderation and finding that balance. And so again, this is something that 5s are not, you're so used to this. So it's kind of like, again, it's just, all right, a little bit more of the same, but you guys might be able to maneuver through it a little bit more easily than some of the other life path numbers. But again, moderation is going to be key this month, as well as balance. And then also being aware that, it's very possible that changes could be coming in and the call for transformation. So again, just be aware of that. Nothing you guys aren't used to, but just be aware of it so that you can move through it as it comes through. And so what I'd like to do is take a look at the full month of October. I'm going to break it down into 4 weeks. And so again, it can be very fluid how this energy comes in. Sometimes there's more weeks to a month than 4, but that's how I'm going to break it down. And so we'll start with the first week of October. And there's this energy of really, truly connecting to your intuition, to your higher self, to find the stillness, to go within, to find the balance. What I'm really being drawn to the energy of is this balance. And so something that fives can struggle with a lot of times when they're out of alignment is moderation, right? So it's like living in excess or living in the extremes. And so this month, if you find yourself, especially because that 5 energy is going to be so potent, if you find yourself in an extreme, then the call is to find your balance, to find your footing, but to make sure that you have the balance between the physical and the metaphysical. So the spiritual and the physical, right? So that you're connected to your higher self as well as your lower self. And so you've got that balance between the yin and the yang. You've got that balance between divine masculine, divine feminine energies. I think this first week you're really going to be asked to tap into that. And if you start searching in the external for the answers, for clarity, for any of those higher insights, you're going to struggle because that is all going to be found from within. And if there's a disconnect between you and your higher self at this time, you and your higher consciousness, you and the divine, then you're going to struggle a little bit because you're not going to be able to find the answers in the external. And you could find that if you're in the extreme of being too in your ego or being too in the physical and not connected enough to your higher consciousness or the spiritual side, you'll feel that disconnect. You'll feel out of balance. And so there's really that strong call for this first week in October, fives, to find your balance, find your footing, but also reconnect to that spiritual side of yourself, reconnect to your intuition, balance the ego with the intuition, with the soul, right? Use your intuition for your compass. Allow the ego to be the logistics. And so this is coming in really, really strongly for this first week. So you may feel that push and that pull energy. And I'm feeling like it's going to be around the phases of the moon. So we've got the, I believe, Aries full moon on the 1st. And so you may really be feeling that around the full moon and then the weeks that follow. So however that comes in for you, but there's really this call for that balancing of those energies, the balancing between the physical and the spiritual, the masculine and the feminine within. So however that comes in for you. But moderation is key. And then we move into the second week of October, and we've got this energy of some kind of new offer coming in. And this could be you making an offer. This could be an opportunity coming in. It really feels like an opportunity, like a material opportunity. So something in the physical coming in, that could be a job offer. It could be an offer to purchase something. It could be an offer to contract or partner with somebody that could eventually lead to quite a bit of success, actually, and quite a bit of physical monetary success in a sense. So yeah, if there's an offer that comes in for you, or if you're feeling the call to make an offer to somebody to start partnering on something or collaborate with somebody on something, then this is very, very supported at this time. And so it may be that in the beginning, at the first week of October, you start to get those downloads. And that's why it's so important, and why Spirit is saying, make sure you've got that connection, because otherwise the messages can't come in. So sit in the stillness, allow to be in receiving mode during that first week so that you can receive those messages. So when the second week comes, you're open to those opportunities. And if you are feeling called to make an offer to collaborate with somebody, or to make a purchase, or to apply for a new job, or to start your own business, or whatever the case may be, or if that type of offer comes into you, then you're much more open to receiving that and saying yes to it, because it is very much supported, which is beautiful, beautiful energy. And then as we move into the third week of October, there's this feeling of again, balance. We're right back to the balance stage here. And so again, moderation, balance, delegate. If you've got stuff too much on your plate, this is an opportunity to step back and say, what is mine? What is not mine? What can I delegate? What am I carrying that doesn't belong to me, that I can give back to the person it belongs to because I've got too much on my plate? How can I find this balance, whether it's finding the balance in the physical or finding the balance within, right? That balance, body, mind, spirit. There's really this call in that third week to find the stillness, find the balance. If you are trying to juggle too much, it will feel very, very chaotic for you at this time, and that can feel really, really overwhelming. And so to sort of preserve your mental space, delegate, and release those things that don't belong to you, that you're carrying, that you don't need to carry. And so that's really, really important. And again, the more that you can find your footing and the more that you can find your balance, the easier that this week will be to move through, this energy will be to move through. It's when you sort of are trying to take on too much that you're going to drop everything, right? So again, moderation, balance is the key for this particular week, around the third week of October. And then as we move into the fourth week of October, we have this energy, it almost feels like this energy of emotional freedom. So however that comes in for you, I'm not really sure what that means, but it's just this sense of like a release. It's almost like that third week you were struggling to balance things and you were juggling a lot and it felt chaotic and you were really struggling to find that sweet spot, that middle ground. But it's almost like you were able to, or you're going to be able to kind of overcome that. If you listen to the need of your body, right? The needs of your body and what your body is asking you for. If you're able to find that balance, or at least try to, then you're going to have some kind of emotional freedom come in at the end of the month that just feels very, very good. It feels very secure. It feels very emotionally fulfilled. It feels accomplished, which is beautiful energy for fives. Sometimes fives can be sort of, and I mean this in a really loving way because I have a lot of fives in my chart, so I get it, but we can kind of be a little all over the place with trying to do everything, right? Instead of focusing on the things that, focusing our energy on where we can most maximize our energy. And so sometimes our energy gets dispersed in a way where it's not really beneficial for anyone. And so it's kind of like in the third week of October, we're being asked to sort of like rein the bunnies back in, right? Put them back in their cages and kind of really focus our energy on the things that our energy needs to be focused on instead of really just spreading ourselves thin. And so if we can do that, then it's like as we move into the fourth week of October, then we've got this emotional freedom. We feel very accomplished. We feel very sound in our, our accomplishments and in how far we've come. And it feels very relaxing and gentle. And so again, the whole month sort of feels gentle if we allow it to be, because again, in the beginning of the month, we're being asked to balance that masculine, feminine, that spiritual and physical. And then as we move through the month, again, it comes back to that balance. And if we can work through those first couple of weeks, those first 3 weeks, and find our footing and find our balance and keep our connection, and stay open to those downloads that want to come in, then by the end of the month, we've got this emotional maturity where it's like we're able to sit soundly on our throne and just sort of put our feet up and enjoy that last week of October. So again, it's sort of up to us what we choose to do with that. And then I pulled a animal spirit card to see what the message was for the overall energy of the month. And it's actually really beautiful. It's the squirrel spirit. And squirrel is saying, believe in yourself. And I love that for fives because again, it's like when fives get into taking too much on, of course that can feel really, really overwhelming. And then we start to doubt ourselves, right? And so the key is when you start feeling that chaos, if you start feeling that chaos this month, it's simply a matter of you're out of balance. And so how can you regain your balance? And a lot of times that comes back to moderation. And so again, this feels like it could potentially be a month of extremes, but the good news is that you are in control of those extremes. So you're in control of how you maneuver through those extremes and how you find your own balance through those extremes. Okay, so ultimately it lands on you on how you'll move through those energies. And again, because it is a 5 universal month, then it's just compounded with your 5 life path energy. And so again, you may just feel this month a little bit more intensely, but again, believe in yourself. You have the power to find the balance, and then when you can find that balance, then you'll be able to move through the energies so much more comfortably, and you'll find a lot more clarity, okay? So I hope that it's a beautiful month for you, fives. I hope October is wonderful. I think it will be if you can continue to, again, not live in the extremes, find your moderation, find your balance, and move through the energy in that way, and believe in yourself, right? If you feel like you can't do it all, maybe you're not meant to do it all. So focus that energy on what you are meant to do and believe in yourself enough to know that you can do it. So, all right, this was a general reading. So if you would like a personalized reading, I would love to look at your energies. Just book some time with me. Otherwise, I will see you again here soon. Thanks, fives. Take care. Bye-bye.